What's going on, nation? I'm Scott from MuscularStrength.com, and today I'm going to help you achieve 67% faster triceps growth. Seriously, guys. So if you notice 66% or 68%, make sure you comment down below immediately, because your gains and possibly your life could be in danger. But seriously, guys, if you're new to this series, yes, the title is clickbait, because that's just what people seem to gravitate towards nowadays. So if I can take advantage of you for just 1 second and pull your attention away from all the garbage and confusion on YouTube, I promise that you'll always end up learning something new and beneficial to your training when watching my videos. So let's get started with my 3 best tips for bigger triceps. Tip number 1, you need to isolate your triceps when you train. Now this is a no-brainer, right guys? Of course you knew I was going to talk about isolating the triceps. Otherwise, I would just tell you that flat incline presses are enough. Well, they're not. You will, however, make great gains training with just big compound movements when you're a complete beginner. But if after a year or so your triceps stop growing, or any other muscle group for that matter, you will have to isolate them and force them to grow. That means the newbie gains are now over. And having said that, by isolating your triceps, I do not necessarily mean you have to perform isolation type movements like the Triceps Kickback or the Cable Pushdown. You still need to overload your triceps, and picking exercises like a close grip bench press, dips, or power bomb are going to be much more beneficial to you. So if you haven't already, check out my video, The Only 2 Triceps Exercises You Need for Growth, and give that workout routine a shot on your next arm day. Tip number 2, do not flare your elbows. Now this one is important, guys, because it can be applied to all triceps exercises. Let's take the close grip bench press for example. Regardless of your grip width, if you start flaring your elbows out, you're turning the exercise into a standard bench press. The issue here, I think, is that as soon as dudes get on a bench, they get upset if they're not unracking as much weight as possible. It's an ego thing. Guys, it's a close grip bench press. The weight should be less than a standard bench press. The entire range of motion is different, and when close bench pressing, the barbell for the most part stays over your torso as you press the weight up. Also, your elbows should be tucked in against your sides and should be located directly under your wrists. You want to create a smooth pathway for that barbell to travel. But what usually happens is, as soon as fatigue sets in, instead of just racking the weight, we get stubborn and try to push through the reps, which normally is okay if you can maintain proper form. But if you can't keep your elbows tucked in, then what's going to happen? They're going to flare out and you'll start bench pressing without realizing it. Even on an exercise like a V-bar pushdown, if you start flaring out your elbows, then that particular exercise immediately turns into a more chest and front delt dominant movement that resembles something more like a bench press. So keep those elbows in tight. Now before we get to the final tip, if you guys enjoy my no BS approach and right to the point methods of teaching fitness, let me know by tapping that like button and leaving a comment below. And as for the final tip, tip number 3, focus more on overhead movements. Now, I'm not saying the close grip bench press and dips are not enough to build huge triceps, because they're great exercises, but not for everyone and for good reason. Those exercises don't place your triceps in a stretched position, and we can target the long head or the biggest head of the triceps more when your arms are positioned overhead. This is because the long head of your tricep actually crosses 2 joints, your elbow and your shoulder joints. So the more you raise your arms over your head, the more you're stretching that long head of your triceps, and we know that weighted resistance plus a deep stretch can be a very powerful tool when trying to spark new growth. Now let's recap. Tip number 1, incorporate more isolation type training into your overall program as soon as the newbie gains stop. And also remember to click the link to my triceps workout in the end screens once this video is over. Tip number 2, do not flare your elbows. Keep them pinned to your sides to maximize triceps engagement on every rep on every exercise. And tip number 3, Focus more on overhead movements to place emphasis on the long head of the triceps, which is the biggest head and will help your arms look thicker and bigger. And I plan to continue this series, so if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and also turn on video notifications, because that really helps me out when you guys check out my videos as soon as they're posted. I have also worked really hard to give each and every one of you an opportunity to check out all my muscle building programs on my app, Muscular Strength. It's currently available for iPhone and Android and comes packed with everything you need to reach your goals. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, get it today and try any of my programs for 1 month free with code FREEFITNESS when you sign up. I'll see you guys there. Are you still looking for that link to my triceps workout? Well, it's right over here, guys, and this is actually the link to the entire playlist of my only 2 exercises you need for muscle growth series. You can also view the article versions of those videos and this one by downloading my app below. See you guys.